Thank you, teammates, for allowing me to present to you the project I've been working on. And this is the telemedicine to the rural training areas on the installation that I work. Um, the effort of this project is to decrease the amount of air evacuations from the training areas back to the main installation treatment facility and decrease the cost by primarily keep as many patients back in the training areas as possible. That's the intent of this project. This is the topics that I will be discussing in a short period of time. Project's intent. The goal is to minimize the evacuations of these patients while decreasing uh, the air evacuation costs and minimizing their workload to the emergency department for the same amount of patients that we are trying to keep at the first line of treatment. Objectives, again, is to maximize unit training. That's the primary goal by minimizing people being evacuated due to the dehydration injuries. That, again, will decrease the evacuation costs and the workload at the emergency department. Positive outcomes is that people will return back to the units and continue the training and minimize the unit cohesiveness before they return back to home duties. While we again decrease the cost of evacuations and the workload at the ER department. Stakeholders, the patients themselves is the number one stakeholder. We would like to get them back to full duty as soon as possible, and the unit leadership of those patients as they would like to get them back so they can continue training as a unit. The emergency department staff, of course, the less evacuations that come to them, the less requirements they have, and so they can focus on other emergencies that they come to the department. The field medical units staff, the medics have a supporting staff, and again, they're part of the stakeholders for that medical small unit. And other medical leaderships as well in the area. And of course, the medical treatment facility and other medical agencies in the area that are providing support for this effort. Technology. We decided to go with a simple telemedicine solution for the training areas as they are busy with other challenges, and we would like not to provide technology that's going to be challenging for them. So we went with the laptop, hardened laptop, loaded with all the clinical applications, the electronic medical record, and other clinical applications they will need. And with medical devices, the USB connected that can be connected to the laptop. So when the vitals get collected, those vitals get transferred along with the rest of the patient diagnosis back to the emergency department. Ease of use, that's the main focus. The initial cost of the four systems we're proposing as initial outfit is a little over $50,000. We're still working the sustainment tail, and we'll bring that up at a future time. We decided to go with the wireless communication with AT&T hotspots as we have used it in the past, and they're reliable in this area. So that's the reason why we went with AT&T as a commercial vendor. Financial cost. We pulled data from the electronic health record out clinical databases, and we pulled up for the month of June and July an average of 73 visits for dehydrated patients back from the training areas to the ER. And the RVUs, manpower in the ER to support those 73 visits came out around 45,000 plus to support those patient population. And about $13,000 plus for medical supplies to support those 73 visits. The cost for the air evacuation for fuel and maintenance came up to about $160,000 for the 73 visits. That's pretty costly. So our intent again is to decrease the number of folks coming into the ER that are being evacuated. So $160,000 a month that will be saving as one of the costs. Additionally, the manpower for the flight crew came out to about $16,000 plus for the 73 visits. Regulatory requirements. We are fortunate in the DoD and VA that there's congressional mandate that for this particular type of efforts, telemedicine, that if you are credentialed one state, If you are connecting to another federal agency within the DoD, VA, that one state certification applies to all of them. So we don't have to get folks to clinical folks to certified credential in every single state where the telemedicine connection is in place. Malpractice, again, as far as DoD congressional mandates, don't support active duty members suing the government. So, not that it's an issue for us in the military medical. So, want to make that sure clear. As far as HIPAA, I know that security requirements that our system complies with all federal requirements. Last but not least, metrics for success. It is the intent of this project to return 75% of those dehydrated patients back to full duty within 2 hours. That's a big requirement, but we believe that we can do with this type of support from the ER, and that's our intent. We'd like to get the human capital back to doing what they do best, which is trained as a unit, so they can be a capable force. And secondary to that is the cost associated with the evacuation and the ER support. Again, we're going to attempt to decrease the evacuations, and that's the intent of the project. So primarily, success will be to return as many dehydrated patients back to full duty within 2 hours. That's our project, and this is all the information that I have for you. I hope that I've made it clear, and if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you.